Bird just hand Caitlin Clark the ultimate endorsement, a whole team of her own, and expose the WNBA's failure to protect its brightest star? It certainly sounds that way after Bird's recent scorching critique of league officiating and culture. He didn't offer a pat on the back. He hinted at grabbing a clipboard, assembling a franchise that would shield Clark from cheap shots and elbow shoves. As Clark boxed out under the rim, veteran swing player Marina Mabrey, who entered the season averaging just 6.2 points per game and known more for her three-point shooting than physicality, rocketed in from behind. Her shoulder slammed Clark square in the ribs with such force that video replay showed Clark's torso bending unnaturally before she crumpled to the floor. At that moment, Clark was already dealing with blurred vision from an earlier eye poke, an injury that had sidelined her briefly in the second quarter, making the shove both brutally timed and deceptively dangerous. The arena's anticipation evaporated into stunned silence as cameras cut to Clark clutching her side, gasping for air while teammates and trainers crowded around. Mabrey casually jogged back to her spot, unfazed, as arena announcers replayed the hit in slow motion, and commentators decried the action as beyond competitive. Yet the referees signaled only a standard personal foul. No flagrant upgrade, no ejection, nothing. Clark was forced to leave the game for a brief medical evaluation, leaving teammates to rearrange rotations on the fly. Fans across social media erupted in outrage. Clips of the hit garnered millions of views, with thousands of comments labeling Mabrey's tactic intentional, dirty, and a blatant disregard for player safety. Meanwhile, the WNBA's head office issued a brief statement noting standard protocols were followed, a response that did nothing to quell calls for stricter enforcement. As frustration swelled among viewers and analysts alike, many questioned whether the league truly valued the welfare of its fastest-rising superstar. Then came Larry Bird, an icon synonymous with cold-blooded competitiveness, speaking out in no uncertain terms. In a nationally broadcast interview, Bird watched the replay and didn't hold back. He labeled Mabrey's hit the most cowardly act I've seen on a basketball court in decades. He argued that reducing the game to sneaky elbows and blindside shoves turns professional women's basketball into street theater rather than a showcase of elite skill. Bird went on to excoriate the WNBA's response, accusing league officials of rewarding mediocrity with impunity whenever dirty play slipped through without punishment. He pointed out that every time a star like Clark is flattened without consequence, it emboldens others to test the boundaries of fair play. But Bird didn't stop at criticism. He issued a challenge. He mused aloud that if the WNBA wouldn't step up to protect its brightest talent, he'd rather draft a roster, grab a clipboard, and coach a team around her himself. "You want to play dirty? Fine," he said, voice thick with both respect and ire. "I'll build a locker room where shoves don't happen." Those 4 words, build a locker room, transformed what sounded like a quip into a rallying cry. Here was basketball royalty, willing to leverage his Hall of Fame credibility, demanding a culture shift. Protect your star or watch someone else do it better. Bird's endorsement of Team Clark instantly carried the weight of decades of hard-nosed, no-excuses basketball history. What infuriated Bird and countless viewers was the WNBA's almost complete radio silence. Officials declined to review the play as a flagrant foul, so Mabrey faced no ejection or post-game sanction. There was no fine, no private memo to teams, no commissioner's public rebuke, and no announcement of stricter enforcement guidelines. Game recaps buried the incident in a single line: standard foul called. Meanwhile, broadcast analysts and former players demanded a zero-tolerance policy for any action resembling a deliberate shove. But those calls vanished as quickly as they arose. Social media petitions urging the league to protect its stars amassed tens of thousands of signatures, yet the front office released only a terse statement affirming standard protocols were followed. By allowing a clear attempt to take out its top draw to go unpunished, the WNBA sent a stark message. Even its brightest star isn't immune from unchecked aggression, and real reform may depend on outside pressure rather than internal leadership. Even as opponents tried to knock her off balance, Caitlin Clark has rewired the WNBA's popularity meter. In just her rookie campaign, she's drained deep threes at a 42% clip, dished out an average of 8.7 assists per game, and rallied her team from late-game deficits with fearless game winners. Networks reported a 63% spike in viewership for Fever broadcasts whenever Clark was on the court, and road arenas that once struggled to fill seats now consistently sell out weeks in advance. Her replica jerseys now outsell every other WNBA uniform by a 2-to-1 margin, Clark's impact even reaches beyond the box score. Sponsors have poured in with multi-year deals, from sportswear giants to tech startups, all eager to align with her lightning rod presence. Yet for all this market power, the league's unwillingness to shield her from dangerous fouls undermines its own growth strategy. As Bird noted, the WNBA has built its comeback narrative around Clark's highlights, but if she's forced off the floor by unchecked aggression, those highlights risk becoming cautionary tales rather than triumphs. Protecting her isn't just good ethics, it's essential business. This isn't merely a flashpoint for one superstar, it's a warning bell for the entire WNBA. Bird argues that the league stands at a decisive crossroads. It can double down on true basketball craftsmanship, with strict officiating and unwavering player safety, or it can drift toward a sideshow where the flashiest shove gets the biggest reaction. If the latter path prevails, top prospects, watching Clark get leveled without consequence, will think twice before committing their careers to a league where they risk being collateral damage. That hesitation would undercut the WNBA's ability to recruit and retain emerging talent, stall its momentum with sponsors, and erode trust among fans who crave genuine competition, not gladiatorial stunts. For every young player dreaming of shining on a professional stage, seeing Clark effectively on notice sends the chilling message, the league won't shield you from harm. Bird's message was unmistakable: safeguard your stars, or watch those icons and the audiences that followed them simply walk away. Larry Bird's challenge: call me when you're ready to play real basketball, Caitlin.
Yeah, call Larry Bird. Ask him for advice.
Oh,
Indiana, he's already there.
You don't deserve this, Caitlin Clark. Please go play basketball somewhere else and let this league crumble, man. This is just ridiculous.
Cuts to the core of the WNBA's moment of truth. He's not merely tossing off a quip, he's daring the league to adopt real accountability. First, upgraded officiating standards. Every shove, elbow, or charge must be evaluated immediately, with transparent reviews and automatic flagrant foul upgrades for hits that endanger players. Second, public accountability. The commissioner's office should issue prompt statements on high-profile incidents, detailing corrective actions and demonstrating that no star safety is negotiable. Third, a renewed emphasis on player welfare, including expanded medical protocols, on-court protection guidelines, and independent oversight to ensure compliance. If the WNBA acts boldly, embracing Bird's blueprint, it could usher in an era of unprecedented growth. Fans would see that their heroes aren't just marketable highlights, but protected athletes whose well-being matters. Sponsors would gain confidence that the league upholds the highest competitive and ethical standards. Young players would flock to a professional environment that values skill over spectacle and treats its icons like investments, not just attractions. But if the league shrugs off Bird's vision as the rant of a bygone era, it risks far more than bad PR. Without robust reforms, elite talents may question whether the WNBA is the right stage for their careers. Viewership, already spiking around Caitlin Clark's rise, could plateau or decline if fans perceive the product as a gladiator show rife with unchecked aggression. Most critically, the league could lose its crown jewel, the one player whose presence has transformed women's basketball into must-see television. Larry Bird's impassioned defense of Caitlin Clark and his Team Clark blueprint forces a simple question: will the WNBA evolve to honor skill and safeguard its icons, or watch them build their own courtside kingdoms?